This is Marla from the Real Fresh Food Channel, and I owe you an update, and we're going to plant some collard greens like I said. But first, let me show you a few little things. Do y'all remember about 12 days ago, I cut up some onions, cut the tops off of them so that we can promote more growth? Take a look at them now. That's those same onions from 12 days ago. See how thick they're getting at the bottom? And look how long the chives got in those few days. It's time for me to cut them again. But I won't do that right now, because I want to show you something else. Remember the cabbages from the very beginning? Look at that cabbage plant now. It's ready to be potted up again, really. And the one thing I wanted to show you more, look at the roots. This is why I plant with see-through cups. See the roots? No, it's kind of hard to see because the cup is shiny. But there's the roots. And I can keep track of how much water I have on them, because I can see, you can tell the difference between when the soil is drier at the bottom and not. One other thing, remember those little tiny tomato plants that I transplanted? Here they are now. This one had 2 tomato plants in there, and I think I even told you on the video, sometimes I'll let them grow up together. Well, they're growing up just fine. And let me see if I can get it on here. I purposely, I don't know if it'll show, didn't water this thoroughly so that you could see what it looks like when it's not coming up good. Oh, there you go. Where it's kind of dry, partially dry and partially watered. This is why I don't have to punch holes in the bottom of it, because it's light brown. Let me back up some so y'all can see it. It's light brown, like right here, where I need to add water, and it's dark brown where the water seeped in. So I don't have to wonder how much water is on this tomato. I can see it. And this tomato, let me see if I can get the roots where you can see them. A lot of roots. Matter of fact, they're at the bottom too. I don't want to turn it over, but let me see how close I can get. There you go. Now you can see them. That's the other thing I like, to be able to keep track of root growth, because that'll let me know too when I need to transplant that. And last but not least, you know the little Aldi peppers, the mini bell peppers I've been babying all this time? This is them. It's time for me to pot these up into their own little cups. And what I will be doing is putting them in this little cup right here. I see you have water in it. I'm going to show you something in a minute. But I'm going to take these plants and put them in these cups so that they can grow up longer, and we'll get to see the root growth and how to water them and everything else. Because as big as this pepper plant is right here, let me turn it so you can see it. Let me pull these leaves back so you can see just how big this pepper plant is. See, that's just one plant right there. All those big leaves. These are definitely ready to go into their own pots. Even the ones that are smaller on this end, they're ready to go too. I just wanted to let them get a little bigger. But all of these come from a pepper that I got from Aldi. I did a little short video, and I'll link that, at the top up here or up here. But I'll link that up there so you can take a look at that little short video and see when I said that you have just these few peppers, and out of this pepper come these seeds, and with those you'll get some plants. these are the result. These plants are the result of that one pepper. And I have so many seeds left over from it that we can just keep growing peppers and keep growing. And you got to remember, each one of these will make a plant with a bunch of peppers that if you tear one open, you have enough seeds to plant way more than these peppers right here. So growing your food is just so, it's easy, it's rewarding, and it saves you a lot of money. Because those bags now are $3 a bag for those peppers. I'll get many bags worth of peppers off of just one plant. So keep that in mind. Now before I plant the collard green seeds, I want to come back to this tomato. Remember I told you that it's like dry looking right here, but the soil's a little bit wet here, and it's the soil's kind of hard. That's why I make sure that I can see from the cup what's going on with the plant. So I can add water now to water it, and I can watch it just run down the sides of the cup. And I can make sure that it gets all the way to the bottom. And I don't have to worry about overwatering this. And now I have a tomato plant that's well watered, and I actually can even add more water to this. And I don't have to worry about overwatering this plant, either well these plants, because there are two of them in here. And I can make sure that I put enough water in so that they're not competing for the same water. Or any other nutrition, if you're using fertilizer, because some people use Miracle Grow tomato, which there's nothing wrong with that. Or they use whatever, because remember these soils don't have any nutrition in them. I didn't plant these with compost. I used soils from the store. And some of those soils don't have any kind of nutrients in them, so you kind of got to give your plants something to start them off with. So when people say, oh, don't use Miracle Grow, don't use this, use whatever you want to help your plants grow, just don't overdo it. Because you just like you can give your plant, your plants cannot have enough nutrition. You can also give them too much. So too much is not a good thing, and not enough is not a good thing either. So with that, let me move these out of the way, and let's get to collard greens. Now all I did was take some of that soil that you saw in a previous video and put boiling water over it, and I let it sit to make sure that if there were fungus gnat eggs or anything in there, that they were dead. And I haven't had any issues with fungus gnats, so we know we're good to go. I have some collard seed that I bought from a local farm, and I try to pick up some fresh seed every year, but this is definitely seed from year before last. And this is how easy it is. I will take my infamous, whatever tool you have around your house right now, it's a plastic spoon. I'm going to take the handle from it and make a little row. You don't have to really make a row. I could just spread them on top of there and do the same thing. Actually, I'm going to make a row over here too, because I'm going to plant a different green on this side. Now, I'm not going to do it on camera, but I'll do this on camera just so you can see how easy it is. I made a little bitty row. It's not that deep at all. And I'm going to take some green seeds and pour them in my hand. I only need a pinch just to do this. And I'm trying not to get too many because I don't want them falling through this glove. Reason why I have this glove on my hand is because I cut my finger and I don't want to get dirt in the cut. So that's that. Here's my green seeds. See how tiny these seeds are? That's why you want to make sure that I'm literally going to take a pinch and pour it down in there. It doesn't matter if I overseed it, because one, I'm going to need every one of these plants that I can get, and two, they're going to be thinned out and put in their own little containers as soon as they're large enough to transplant. So I don't mind overseeding, because I'm going to use just about every plant I can get. I'm going to take the rest of these, because that's all I need. And I probably have 30 or 40 plants right there, easily. I'll take the rest of these and slide them right back in this bag. And if I plant more plants later, I can grab some out of there. And if I don't, I have seed for next year. And what I'm going to do is take this and cover them, lightly cover them up. Like that. And I'm going to water that in. And that's literally all I'm going to do to them. And wait for them to come up. And I'll get a little water them in. Trying to see if I had another water container with me close. I don't. But I'll take that water right along there. And that's it. And that's literally how easy it is. And I have a little, if you remember, I have a little lid that goes to this container. And I'll put a piece of tape on here to say what kind of green is here, what kind of green is here. I'll put the little lid on, and I'll keep the little lid on there. It'll act like my little greenhouse. I'll keep my little dome on there until the first one sprouts up. And when they do, then I'll take it off, put them in the window, let them come on up. Now, I could have sown these outside because collard greens and kale also can take cold weather. Right now, you can't even tell that it's cold weather because I'm sure right now it's like 62 degrees outside. 2 days ago, it was 19. So we're still going back and forth. I think snow is over, but I know for sure we have not reached our last frost date yet. For collards and kale, they really don't care. If you have a good sturdy plant, by the time you put them outside, they can take frost and they don't really mind. Collards can take frost better than kale, but they both can take a little frost. I prefer to wait until the frost is over and put them outside, or closer to my last frost date, which this year is going to be April 30th for anybody in the St. Louis metro area. And it's strange because it used to be April 15th. But anyway, I'll have some really nice plants. That probably like around the 20th, I'm going to take them and put them outside. And if I feel like it's going to dip down some more, I'll go cover them up to keep them from getting frosted. But they'll be ready to get outside, get acclimated, and take off. And then we'll go from there. But what I will do is I'm going to water these in. I'm going to finish planting this side, water them in, get the dome on it. And then I'm going to come back and show you what that looks like. So just hang on 1 minute and I'll show you what it is. Okay, I'm back. And here's the container with the little lid. And there's my label that shows what's in here. And we'll be back in a few days because it doesn't take long for them to sprout. We'll be back in a few days and I'll show you how they've turned out. Now again, this is Marla from the Real Fresh Food channel. Take anything you have at home and put some seeds in and plant. It's that easy. And now that it's getting warmer and we're watching these grocery prices go up, you have all the chance right now to plant anything you really like to eat. Now is the time. If you like onions, plant them. If you like tomatoes, start the plants and plant them. And if you feel comfortable starting from seed, then go to your local Home Depot, Lowe's. If you have Menards in your area, if you have any kind of farm store, if you have any, people are selling seedlings, started plants. They'll be about this size, maybe a little bit bigger. Go buy some plants. Start out that way. If you're not comfortable with starting seed, but get a bucket, get a flower pot, get anything. Put something in the ground and plant it and watch it just take off. Nothing to be afraid of. It's really this easy. Now, on my next video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to take these pepper plants and get them planted into this cup right here. So with that, y'all have a good day now, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.